Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Totri, joined by Shawn DePaz on this wonderful Friday Funday.
How you doing, Totri?
I'm fantastic.
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I definitely could be feeling better. We're going to get to why. But I'm feeling I got my coffee. I got my egg bites that you got me onto. And I'm feeling sensational.
I was worried that you forgot how to speak there for a second.
No, I was doing the future. Sensational.
My God.
How do you keep your pants up? Belt.
We're just, the whole show is just going to be
Friday Funday. It's
Shawn
off the rails.
staring into the mic and just making noises. This is another day without Shane.
Well, Shane is bad luck, apparently. Well, I guess I can't say that because he wasn't here and I got screwed.
He is bad luck, though. I heard, Leah, you can confirm this, that Shane went 0 for 8 in his picks the other day.
Yeah, he went 0 for 8 yesterday in his March Madness picks.
0 for 8.
And you mean his bets, not his bracket, right?
Yeah, his bets.
Okay.
Rip Shane,
Like the money,
100%.
the money he put down on March Madness, he
So,
was 0 for 8.
My bracket did get screwed, but I did go 2 for 2 on my bets yesterday. I won $50 off of Gonzaga thanks to that DK bet, and they probably got real excited in that first half. They thought they were making some money, and then I emotionally hedged, and I put some money on Richmond at like plus 235 or something like that, and that hit. So I won some money. I got $100 and some change sitting in my DK account right now.
That's always nice. But your bracket not looking.
We don't have to talk about that.
But we
Yeah,
do.
I know. I know.
We 100% have to talk about your bracket because we did the show yesterday before. I think it was before Kentucky had played.
It was indeed before Kentucky.
And you were so hopeful. I feel like you've aged probably 20 years since that show.
It's not even like, I don't think to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever correctly picked a national champion in a bracket in my entire life. I don't think I've ever done it once. But it was more the fact that I made that pick and then proceeded to talk an enormous amount of shit.
Yes.
And it literally immediately backfired. So, what are you going to do?
It's okay.
That's the name of the game. I owned up to it. I tweeted out. I called myself out on Twitter. Could have kept it in the company, but I wanted the people to know that I failed and I was owning up to it.
So brackets, I don't want to say it's completely busted. It's definitely.
Oh no! I mean, it's completely busted. My national champion.
I want to give you have some sort of hope.
Well, I mean,
forward.
I can still win because, like I said, I do think Gonzaga is going to lose to Memphis, and I think that Arizona is going to get bounced by Illinois in the Sweet 16. And if that happens, then literally everyone in this company's champion, except for Shane because he has Auburn. But I still listen.
I think Auburn loses next round.
I wouldn't be surprised. SEC basketball is clearly fraudulent. I want to double down on my comment, though, that everyone in this company are cowards for picking the same two teams, both of which were 1 seeds, to win the national championship.
Yeah, but the point of it is to like get the most correct. So you have the better odds by picking teams that are better.
Listen, I think everyone just has a little bit of like that West Coast bias. And they all were like, oh, Gonzaga and Arizona, even though they don't watch any East Coast basketball.
Well, how is picking Kentucky as a national championship
that was
working
clearly
for you?
the incorrect choice.
Okay, give me Duke.
Duke is so. We just talked about Duke.
That's what I'm saying. Duke, fraudulent.
But Tennessee,
I don't.
Good.
I have them in
Texas
my
Tech,
Elite Eight,
which is not East, but West, I guess in general. Big Ten, dude, the Big Ten especially. Holy shit, they are so bad at basketball. Indiana shouldn't have even been in the tournament.
Shane had Indiana too.
Yeah,
he
I don't
was
know why.
All up on Indiana.
Ohio State, don't know how they beat Loyola, but I think they get bounced in the next round. I think they're fraudulent.
Oh, don't say that.
Who else do we have in the Big Ten in the tournament?
I
guess I could look at my bracket that is got a lot of red on it.
Yeah, I figured it was going to have a lot of red. It's kind of a bummer that you
Purdue.
Purdue's not fraudulent.
They're not. Well, they're beating Yale by 13 points at half. So
I like Purdue. I
hate Big Ten basketball, and I will never, ever, ever choose a Big Ten basketball team to win.
What about ACC basketball?
ACC, listen, you and I know ACC basketball very well. Fraudulent right now.
Yeah.
Duke especially. Fraudulent.
Yeah, the more that I've seen Texas Tech play, the less confident I feel about having Duke beating them.
Yeah, that never should have happened. That never should. If you had asked me what 2 seed was going to get bounced in the first round of the tournament, I would have put the house on Duke. Thank God I didn't, because again, Kentucky screwed me over. But yeah, I do not like Duke. They lost to Virginia Tech, who shouldn't be in this tournament. They stole a bit.
Yeah, but like it's March.
I mean, no, yeah, it is March,
happens.
but Coach K is a fraud and a loser. But support the troops. He is a vet. But Duke is fraudulent. ACC basketball is not.
So what's the least fraudulent conference? It's not the fucking Pac-12.
Big 12.
That's the least fraudulent?
Yeah. I mean, Texas is kind of fraudulent, but Tech is good. Baylor's good. Kansas is good.
Isn't this just the nature, though, of like college athletics? Is that like there's so much? I don't know if they're necessarily fraudulent, but there's just so much parity in college sports because
college basketball.
Okay, college basketball. I mean, even in college football, I think like there's a decent amount of parity.
I think it's greater in basketball for sure. But yeah, sure. But also like, if you're talking like true parity, put these teams in a 7-game series and see what happens. Like that's why March Madness is so great, because anything can happen in one game. But if you're having these teams play each other a few times with an extended amount of preparation, I don't think you see as many upsets as you do in March Madness. So I think that the Big 12 is still clearly, they have 2 number 1 seeds.
Yeah.
Like,
how would you feel if, like you mentioned, the 7-game series? How would you feel if the NBA adopted this format?
But not all
the teams? Give me.
I mean, right now they have what, 20 teams?
Just give me the current like NBA playoff format, but instead of a 7-game series, it's just one and done.
I mean, Phoenix probably wins the finals last year. They probably won the NBA championship last year. I don't know. I was thinking about that. I don't know how
that'd be interesting.
It would be. It would be very interesting. I think you would get guys like Trae Young and the Hawks. Like, that's a team that you could like end up in the NBA finals because Trae Young just scores 50 every game, and it's like, all right, that happens. But I still think generally, I mean, the thing is you look at like at college basketball, it's not like you're getting all these upsets. You're not getting like 11 seeds winning the national championship.
Yeah.
Like, it's still usually a top 4 seed that wins the national championship. So I still think generally one of the best teams in the country almost always wins the national championship. So I don't know. It'd be fun in the NBA, but I feel like it's better that they do 7 games.
Yeah, that's fair. There is one thing I want to talk about that they talked about on the Phoenix Sports Pod yesterday. It's not in the rundown, but I do want to talk about it.
I feel like we started with the topic we weren't supposed to start with anyways.
It says give Shane shit. I'm pretty sure we did that. And then we just kind of worked our way down.
Fair enough.
So yesterday on the Phoenix Sports Pod, they discussed a lot of things. They did a mailbag that Mac had. They talked about seeing us on reality TV shows. That you and Shane would make a great Amazing Race team.
Ooh, yeah. I was in a college version of Survivor, and I dog walked absolutely fucking everybody.
So you won.
No, I came in third. Listen, I came in third, but because the way it works is like you have the final 3, and whoever wins that challenge gets to choose who comes to the finals with them. And I was so clearly the best that the guy that won that challenge didn't want me to come there because everyone knew I was going to win. But I won basically every other challenge. So,
I could see you on that. I think also seeing you on like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette would be funny as hell.
I would make a great. I know. See, I think I would be good, but at the same time, I would never get cast for something like that because I would look at this like if I was The Bachelor, for example. And you get like, if anyone out there is part of Bachelor Nation, you get like a crazy girl like Shanae. I would be like,
I feel like you know her. I feel like you don't even need to meet her. I feel like that right there, you could probably take a guess that she's a little crazy.
Yeah, but like girls would start crying because like, oh, someone in the house was mean to me. I'd be like,
get over it.
Okay, welcome to life. Stop crying. Like if you want to cry about something real,
is this what you tell your girlfriend when she cries?
Nah, because if she cries, it's about something real. Like it's not. Oh my god, they were mean to me. They didn't eat my shrimp.
What?
No, if you watch The Bachelor this season, that was literally like girls were fighting because someone made shrimp and the other girl didn't want to eat any of her shrimp.
Okay, I just need to make a counter argument here. I agree that that's ridiculous, but like they're in a house with each other. They're probably so insecure because they're comparing themselves to each other. They have no access to their phones, TVs, but they're just sitting in a house, like with nothing to do. And I would go crazy in that setting too. I'd probably cry over shrimp.
I would not.
Shrimp?
Oh, I would not cry over shrimp. Like, if I was a contestant on The Bachelorette,
I couldn't do that.
I don't know
Fuck
how
no.
I would go, because I don't think I'm a jealous person, but I'm definitely like, I think I would get eliminated early, because I would look around at these guys and be like, you're like you're not any competition to me. Like, I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing here?
So you'd be a dick.
Not to the guys,
Would
maybe.
you be the villain of your season, Shawn?
Nah, I would be like the Joe of last year, or of Michelle's season.
Oh yeah. I thought
Like
you were
the
gonna
guy
say
that clearly
grocery
should have
Joe.
won,
Yeah.
but then just was like, okay, well, she has bad judgment, so what happens.
So what do you think?
But I would never be on that show, because I have a girlfriend that I love very much.
He just had to bring it home. He just had to bring it home like that. I appreciate it. No, I definitely.
What would you be on?
I don't know.
You'd be on like Hot or Not or something.
Hot or Not? Is that a show?
Yeah, isn't it?
Too hot to handle.
Too Hot to Handle.
Too
That's
Hot
what I meant. Hot or Not is our segment. That's right.
Too Hot to Handle. That would be. Is that the show where you can't do anything on the show?
Yes.
That's the Netflix one.
Yeah, I think so. Or like Love Is Blind. No.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
God.
Nope. I watched that shit.
How about Love Island?
I
What's
haven't
that
seen
one?
Love Island, so I don't know enough about how it
It's
works.
the best dating show out there. Just saying.
Okay. I could see Totri on one of these shows.
I don't know if I'd win. What do you win? Like, what's the
Love.
point of the?
Love
Oh, you
Island?
win love.
No, you know where?
No, you
Totri.
would
Totri would thrive on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes.
Thrive on Bachelor in Paradise. You're just an island full of like.
Well, that's why Love Island would be great. It's the same concept.
Oh, okay, okay. Bachelor in Paradise
But,
is easily the best
but
part of
on-
Bachelor.
But on Love Island, there's money to win at the end, unlike
Ooh.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. What do you
Just
win?
love.
You just love.
Oh, you just win love.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And Instagram followers.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, we are so off topic, but like,
Welcome to the PHNX reality TV
hey, we
show
just
podcast.
call it Friday Funday because it means we can talk about whatever. Like the clout you get from these shows
Oh, 100%.
is nuts.
Like, I honestly think
Like even if you're in a committed relationship,
no, that's what I'm about to say. I feel like my girlfriend and I have a good enough relationship where I would show up on that show and be like, I'm just here for the clout. Fuck all these girls. I'm gonna leave the show.
I'm here to fuck shit up.
I'm here to fuck shit up. I'll probably pick some fights, talk some shit, and then leave without anybody and bring the money and the clout back to me and my girlfriend.
That's the way to do it.
I agree. That's what happens on the show sometimes. Like, people show up in relationships already, and then they find out, and then they get kicked off the show, and it's like, all right, but I'm richer and have more followers now, so fuck you and your show.
I feel like this is the point in the show where if Shane was here, he'd try and steer us
he'd
back
be like,
on track.
He'd be like, so how about the Texas Tech? He'd be like, let us do our thing, Shane.
honestly. Yeah, no, that I don't know how I do on those shows. I don't know, dude.
I talk a lot of shit. I feel like I would probably completely fold under pressure on The Bachelor.
I would be fine under pressure, but I do not do well in jealous settings.
I don't
Like,
even.
I'm the type of person where if I'm jealous, I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah. I just feel like I would just like
This has turned into the PHNX dating show.
literally. I just feel like if I was on that show, I would just look around and be like, most of y'all ain't shit. Fuck
That's
with the
fair.
boy, and then I would
That's
get
fair.
eliminated. I'd be like, what? There was spring football today, wasn't there?
No,
Not
there
today.
wasn't.
No, there
There's
wasn't.
There's spring football tomorrow.
Yes.
Spring football tomorrow. I love the transition. By the way. Very clean, very
I feel like at some point we
smooth,
got to talk about
very
ASU.
smooth. Just 15 minutes in. They have had spring practice the last couple days. I've been out there for those. We talked about how the energy picked up a lot yesterday, which was good to see. As far as like where they're at the end of almost week one, we talked yesterday how we think spring is going to be more important for Glenn Thomas. Do you see a scenario like before fall camp starts where ASU's got a quarterback, where their offense is completely set, where their defense, everybody's good, everybody's healthy? Like, do you foresee I want to call it a Shane situation where like you can go into fall camp at the end of spring ball and be fully confident that ASU has got a good team?
No, I don't think there's anything that this team could do short of getting like
full eligibility.
Bryce Young in the transfer portal to make me feel completely confident in this. I was reading, I believe.
Who's he throwing to though? Would that even make you confident?
I mean, he could just run all over. Bryce Young is good enough to make some things happen, but no, yeah, fair. I believe I was reading a Doug Holler article, and it was talking about Glenn Thomas, and he said something about how like it's not his offense; it's like a collaboration, which fucking terrifies me. I do not like the idea that there's going to be a bunch of people like in Thomas's ear, kind of influencing how the offense is run. I would rather my offensive coordinator be the offensive coordinator and have his offense. I'm just afraid with that and the quarterback competition and the uncertain, like just there just being no clear starter at basically any position. I'm just afraid there's going to be so much uncertainty and so much moving around at the beginning of the season that it's going to start, that the season's going to be over before it starts. Yeah. I mean, I do think that the ceiling is higher than bowl eligibility. Like the Pac-12 South is not the SEC. Like it
no,
ASU
but you can
play.
guaranteed losses to USC and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, USC is more talented, but they're in a similar position, like except for the fact that they have a new head coach, they have a new quarterback. Like,
but Lincoln Riley's done this before.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like I just feel like you don't know what's going to happen. But it definitely concerns me how much uncertainty there is surrounding the offense, for sure.
Yeah, they were, like I'd mentioned on yesterday's show, a lot of people around the team aren't too confident that this team does anything other than bowl eligibility. Paul Tyson still doesn't look fantastic.
Yeah.
Trenton Bourguet, he is definitely more comfortable in the offense. He's definitely like his passes just look cleaner. Maybe he's just had more time to get in sync with these guys, clearly. Obviously, the hope is that Tyson gets there. One little wrinkle in the offense that Herm has been just gloating about since like he first spoke at the start of the week was that this offense huddles.
Yeah.
That they slow things down. They play an old school. And that's what I always thought Herm was going to do here is he was going to go back 20 years and try and maybe not reinvent the wheel, but bring college football to where the NFL used to be. Slow it down, huddle up. You run the ball every first down, get a chunk yards, and then you go from there. Because he had talked about how bad this team was on first down last year in terms of just shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. Like pre-snap penalties.
Yeah.
So do you think that this team slowing down the offense is going to make the quarterback competition closer?
Yes. Well, I think at this point, it's kind of Bourguet's job. I don't think it's his job to lose necessarily because I think it is a true quarterback competition, but like he's clearly much more comfortable in the offense, more chemistry with the receivers. But I think a pro style, like slower offense where they huddle fits Paul Tyson.
Yeah.
Like I could visualize him breaking out of that huddle. You know, he's not like not nearly as an athletic guy as Bourguet is. Like I just feel like that kind of offense fits him more. And so I feel like it would give him a little bit better of an opportunity. And you know, I think it does make it closer. I just think it gives both guys an opportunity to like, if they're making mistakes, it's not because they were rushed. It's not because there was miscommunications on the play. Like you had a chance to get in a huddle, make sure everyone was on the same page, and prove. Like a huddle is a great place to prove that you're a leader.
Yeah.
Especially if in a game, if things aren't going right or you're trying to make a game-winning drive, like you need to get in the huddle and be calm and show that you are like you're not rattled or you're not being rushed, because that the rest of the team feeds off of that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a huddle is a great chance for, like we have said, in a team devoid of leadership, for one of these quarterbacks to show that they can be a leader, which I feel like is going to be almost as important as their actual performance is their ability to be a leader.
See, I think the stereotype that the quarterback has to be the leader, or that, I mean, in most scenarios, that's what you would think, right? Like the quarterback should be the leader. It's the guy that touches the ball every snap on offense, like commands the offense, calling the plays, etc. But like, I feel like we've talked about the defense so much that the front seven is going to be where this team thrives, that I really don't think it matters if Bourguet or if Tyson steps up and becomes that leader. I think it would be helpful for the offense just finding some synergy and getting in sync. But at the end of the day, I think like the leadership on this team is going to have to come from the defense.
Yeah, but you need a leader on the offensive side of the ball. And it's not necessarily does the quarterback have to be like a vocal leader. Like they can definitely be more of a silent lead by example kind of leader. I mean, you definitely...
I hate those kinds of leaders.
I mean, fair, but you see those with certain kinds of quarterbacks, and they can be effective. I think, like your guy, Justin Herbert, he's not like a crazy guy that's yelling with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like he's very level-headed. I feel like Tua is a similar guy. Like they're very level-headed, even-keeled kind of guys, which is kind of, especially in a system where you're huddling up and you're slowing things down, is what you need from a quarterback. So even if they're not a vocal leader in that sense, I think they can still be a leader of a different sort, especially if your vocal leadership is coming from the defense. But I do think there needs to be a leader. I think I'm of the mindset that there needs to be a leader on special teams. There needs to be a leader on defense. There needs to be a leader on offense. And I feel like it's an offense that doesn't have some sort of leadership coming from the quarterback is destined to fail. Like the offense runs through them. So they need to be a leader of some sort, even if it's not necessarily a vocal leader.
You know who I want to be the leader of this offense? I want Des Holmes.
Okay.
A guy coming from Penn State, coming from, where they just do football differently. And I was talking to Doug about this on the field during yesterday's practice, about how, like, people here that go to ASU football games or that watch practice, they're here and they're like, okay, ASU football is what they see. It's what they know. It's whatever. Like, there's a reason that people in the Midwest care so much about football.
Yeah.
And it's because that's all they got.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cities where if it's not a college football team, there's nothing going on.
There is quite literally, like in South Bend, when you would go to the gas station or like the grocery store and you would check out, they would say, "Go Irish." After you would check out.
No, yeah.
They're not going to be...
Tuscaloosa, it's a roll tide every time.
Nothing here is there that level of
up.
commitment.
Yeah.
No, there's never going to be like a forks up after you check out like fries or something.
No, it's definitely a different culture. That's kind of the West Coast in general, though. All of these schools are in cities. I mean, with the exception of this school down south, they have nothing going on. But most of these schools are in cities where it's like, all right, you're UCLA, USC, you're in Los Angeles. Tempe, you're basically in Phoenix. Washington, you're in Seattle. Like, a lot of these schools are in cities where there's a lot going on, so they're not necessarily going to be the priority.
It's too many options.
Yeah.
Like, if one of their teams sucks, then they can just move to the next one.
Yeah.
That's almost like the downfall of being in a big city. Like, I feel like the fandom, unless you're in like New York or Philly, like the fandom just drops off.
Yeah, and I feel like basketball is always going to be a little bit more of a priority on the West Coast than football. Especially when you consider that the big city for recruiting is Los Angeles. And I think basketball is bigger in Los Angeles than football is. I mean, they haven't had an NFL team up until a few years ago.
The Rams did win the Super Bowl.
You're not wrong, but I mean...
And there's going to be an LA team that wins the Super Bowl
Lakers
this year.
there forever. Relax. AFC West doing all this crazy stuff just to stop the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, my God.
But
your take, by the way, was horrible on Twitter.
None of those teams are better than the Buffalo Bills.
You're smoking crack.
The Bills are better than the Chargers. That's for goddamn
The Bills would be the third best team in that division.
The Bills would be the best team in that. Maybe second best if you want to give that to the Chiefs. But I do think the Bills are better than the Chiefs. If it wasn't for the overtime rules, we would have seen that. But that's not why we're here today. For me, the guy I want to see be a leader on the offense is Ricky Pearsall. Like, he's a guy that has been a part of this offense. Literally no one else has been a staple in this offense. The offensive line is mostly new. Going to have a new quarterback. Obviously, Ngata was here last year, but he didn't really play. All the running backs, all the running backs are going to be new. I want to see the guy that has been here be like, this is what we're going to do. But on the other side of that, going back to Paul Tyson, you talked about how some of these schools are like, they do things differently. Alabama is the example of that.
Yeah.
Like, if he can come in there and look around and be like, this is not how winning programs operate.
No.
And even if that leadership is not going to come from Herm, which I think it can. I think Herm is capable of being a good leader, but obviously it's different when it's a player. Like, I think Tyson, that's where he has the biggest ability to put himself in front of Bourget, is look around and be like, I've seen national championships.
Yeah.
This is not how national championship winning teams operate. We need to shape up. And so that's why I think the leader needs to come from the quarterback. If it's going to be Paul Tyson, he knows better than anyone what winning football looks like.
There's a funny story that I heard from one of the media members out at practice the other day, just to give you an idea. Like we say Paul Tyson isn't like he's massive. Yeah. But if you watch him out there, he's still growing into his body. He's still trying to figure out how to be 6'5". Yeah. But he is clumsy as fuck, and he's goofy as fuck. And just to give you like an idea of that, right? So like you're watching him on the field, pass hits the dirt, whatever. You're like, okay, he's just trying to figure it out. He's like that in real life too. Like, so there was a media member that was telling me this story. Tyson had parked next to him.
Oh boy.
And the media member was just, wanting to see as he gets out of the car if everything's normal. Yeah. Tyson gets out of his car and he goes to spit. And it was one of those spits where it's just like
he just spits on himself.
Miss and it like it's just like hanging from his mouth.
No.
And the guy was like, "Oh God, this is like the future."
This is what ASU football has.
This is ASU's quarterback right
That's
here.
That's the shit I would do. Oh no.
So for all you Paul Tyson advocates out there,
make sure you're holding up a mirror in front of your face.
Exactly. But put a little more oomph on it.
But I guess that's what you got to do, Borgay. Be able to spit, and the job is yours.
It really doesn't take a whole lot to win the starting job at
ASU. Yeah, I guess not. We'll see.
But yeah, they do have practice tomorrow, and then they've got a bunch of practices next week. So we'll definitely be out there. Hopefully, the quarterback competition keeps up. Maybe it'll be as good as advertised. Maybe it'll be worse. Maybe it will be better. But we'll definitely have all that stuff. I do want to transition quickly back into March Madness because there is still that promotion going on at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. For new customers, you can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets. If they win, you win on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And if you're not a new customer, like Shawn and I and Leah and really everybody here at PHNX, you can do same-game parlays. I still have yet to try a same-game parlay in March Madness. Have you?
I have not. I like to save them for like the later rounds because there's so much like up in the air with March Madness that I like to be able to see teams operate in March Madness for a little bit before I start putting lots of money on them.
I imagine you're going to be looking at your bracket a lot less and the DraftKings app a lot more.
Yeah, until Arizona and Gonzaga get bounced, and then it's really a competition. I
really hope they don't get bounced because that's my finals right there.
I hope they do for that precise reason. Plus, Forks Up. I don't know. Like, we need something because, like, Oklahoma, they have horns down. Like, and I guess we were doing lopes down for GCU, but no one cares about GCU. We need something like you can't say bear down because it's literally their thing, and bear up sounds stupid. Bear down sounds stupid if we're being honest.
Bear up is 100% something an ASU fan would say.
Bear up. I don't know. We need something.
Well, given that both these schools have been around for a while and no one's come up with anything, I don't think
that's the best thing Arizona has ever done is come up with a foolproof catchphrase.
Is it foolproof?
I mean, when part of your phrase is the word down, it's hard to go horns down, lopes down,
forks down.
Well, yeah, but we are. That's them for us.
No, I know, but like forks down doesn't sound like.
I don't know. You could do the
horns down is just cool.
Horns down goes hard, yeah, and lopes down. If we cared about GCU, would also go hard.
Oh my god!
But I don't know if they're allowed to watch this.
If they're allowed to watch this?
Yeah.
No, GCU is not allowed to watch this, and everybody
GCU fans have probably never watched our
post
post-game shows because it's past their curfew.
Oh, God. Do they get Wi-Fi at GCU?
Probably between the hours of like 8 and 8.
Dear God. Well, this promo has turned into just roasting GCU. But again, if you are a new customer on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PHNX. And you'll get $200 in free bets if you bet $5 on any college hoops team to win, and they do. If they win, you win with promo code PHNX this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. A minimum of a $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Delaware is up by 8 points on number 2 Villanova right now.
They're up by 8 points or 8 point?
8 point. It's 23-22 with 4 minutes left in the first half. Obviously, Gonzaga's score was similar to that in the first half
yesterday. But Gonzaga and Villanova are not the same.
I mean, yeah. So,
do we see another two
seed go down? Then I wouldn't even feel bad about Kentucky because clearly this bracket's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's March.
Yeah,
There's always some weird. March. There's always some weird shit that goes on.
Speaking of March, did you by any chance see the W Slam cover? The Women's Slam magazine cover?
That was South Carolina, yeah. Right? Yeah, that goes hard.
Went so incredibly hard.
So
Dawn Staley
good.
and a few of her players. That shit was dope.
Honestly,
we need to recreate that.
I love the fact that they expanded the women's tournament.
Yes.
I think
they
that's
should.
something. Oh, my God. I'm so scared for whatever that is
boy.
immediately. While we're on the topic of March Madness, it wouldn't be a Friday Fun Day if we didn't talk about the Pac-12 Imposter. So if we could get that graphic rolled, that'd be beautiful. Now, there's only 3 teams from the Pac-12 that are in March Madness. We've got U of A, who plays today, UCLA, who snuck a win in yesterday, and then we also have USC, who plays today.
Yes.
So out of those 3 teams, who do you think is still the imposter?
Listen, I'm going to get to your real question, but I need to call out Colorado for being imposters because they got bounced in the first round of the NIT by St. Bonaventure.
I really wanted them to sneak into the into the real tournament.
I like that team. That team is
they got good players.
They have good players. So the fact that they got bounced by St. Bonaventure, who was, I think, projected to win the A10 at the beginning of the year, and then Richmond did that. Screw you, Richmond. Well, no, you won me money.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say.
But they also screwed up my bracket a little bit. But yeah, so
I
Colorado,
also hate the NIT.
Yeah,
I think it's a stupid idea.
I think there's just certain teams, like there's teams that are like happy to be in the NIT, and then there's teams that don't want to be there, and then those teams end up losing. But so Colorado was definitely an imposter. But to get to your real question, fucking UCLA, dude, come on, they almost got bounced yesterday. Like, and I think USC is still the worst of those 3 teams. So we'll see how they perform today. But so it's kind of unfair. Or I get lucky for them. They can't. It's hard to call them imposters when they haven't played yet. And I guess Arizona also hasn't played.
But we've seen.
But we know how good of a team they can be. Yeah. Although again, haven't getting bounced in the Sweet 16. But yeah. But UCLA, like that was closer than it should have been.
I was at what was it? Cheeseburgers and beer. Watching that game yesterday, and I couldn't believe that they were down by 7 or 8. And I was freaking out.
To a MAC team, and I know Shane loves the MAC, but geez,
I've got UCLA in my Final Four.
Yeah,
so they need
they
need to pick. How's Kentucky?
I mean, that's fair. I have UCLA getting bounced by St. Mary's next round.
I think that's going to be a fun game.
So do I. I like St. Mary's.
I do think though that like UCLA has just got so much. Like
their ceiling is high, but their basement is low.
This is just a weird shot that we can see. That they can't see, but
no one else can see.
No, I know, but like we're staring at the monitor. And I just see 2 Shawns, and it's like my worst fucking nightmare ever.
Just carry on. Carry on.
I think USC, man. I think the talent gap between U of A and UCLA
is closer.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think USC is clearly the worst of those 3 teams. They just obviously have a few like really good players, but. For that reason, it's hard for me to call USC frauds because I think we kind of know what they are. UCLA.
Yeah, but they're in the tournament. They're one of the best 68 teams in the.
Yeah, but I mean, then you got to get into the conversation of how good is the Pac-12, and then it's just it's weird. The fact that they didn't lose to ASU this year is wild to me because I think ASU, when they were playing their best, was better than USC, but
they just didn't match up size-wise well. ASU matched up so much better against UCLA strictly because they play a smaller type of basketball. Like they didn't have to worry about all the bigs. That's why you saw ASU played like 2 strong halves against U of A. But eventually, I mean, Ballo and Koloko are just they're skyscrapers compared to Gaffney and everybody else on their roster.
Seeing Koloko live was unbelievable.
Dude, that guy's huge. I feel like Ballo is just a like crazier looking athlete just because of how big he is. Dude. I think Shane was telling me he was a redshirt freshman or something.
Yeah, he was a redshirt freshman.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, no, because he was on Gonzaga last year and then he transferred after the COVID year. Yeah, no, he's a little shorter than I had thought, but dude, is he
at what, like 6'11"
or something like that? Yeah, his Koloko is just so big. So when you put them next to each other, but when you have those twin towers in, you have a Koloko, you have Tubelis on the bench, and you have Koloko and Ballo playing the 4 and the 5. Whew.
But I think that's why U of A has struggled so much in like if you look at like their last couple of tournament runs, they haven't really been runs because U of A's always, like, at least as of late, their best player on the floor has always been a big. And when you're playing tournament style basketball, like, those guys get fucking tired.
Yeah.
At 6, like, that's why I don't think Colorado would do great, because Batty would get so fucking tired if he had to play back to back all these fucking games.
Jabari. But yeah, I mean, this Arizona team, I mean, Kerr Kriisa, I think if he is healthy, which I don't think he's going to be 100% healthy, but I think he's going to play, he has the potential to be like that guy from the tournament that just is like, and he's hit 15 threes. What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Like, he has a potential to get hot. And then Ben Matherman is one of the best players in the country. Like, he has a potential to just put up 20 every game, and then it's like, it's going to be hard to stop. But wait until they run into Kofi Cockburn, and they might have some troubles.
It's going to be fun, regardless. I do think...
I need Illinois to win their games first. I'm talking a lot about this matchup, and it's a Sweet 16 matchup. They got to win 2 games each.
And your bracket's not doing too hot right now.
Yeah, shows you what I know. But
lucky for you guys, I didn't even enter the office bracket pool.
Oh, you fool.
Jeez. If I did, I would be kicking your ass right now.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be in there.
You don't have to do anything.
I know we were just talking about South Carolina women's basketball. They were beating Howard 49-8 with 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
8 points
in the third quarter.
What do you tell your team at halftime?
Be like,
if you have 8 points.
Just keep trying.
Just shoot or shoot, I guess. Like, keep going. Pat them on the ass, say it's going to be okay.
South Carolina scored 22 points in each the first and second quarter. Howard had 2 points in each the first and second quarter.
They had 4 points at halftime.
At halftime, yeah.
It was 44-4. I forfeit.
Yeah, you gotta pack it in at that point. South Carolina is just an absolute wagon.
Yeah, and Stanford.
Yeah.
We have, while we're on the topic still, or at least transitioning out of the Pac-12 Imposter, ASU baseball starts Pac-12 play today
against just, the 5th best team in the country. Something light.
So 3-game series on the road. Do they get
in
one?
Corvallis.
Do you think they get one?
If I'm putting money on it, no. I mean, it's
no
college baseball, so I think they definitely are capable of doing it. But geez, this is a team that's been trying to find its feet. Specifically the bullpen against the 5th best team in the country.
They're 8-10 ASU's 8-10 on the year. They're on a 1-game losing streak. 6-7 at home, 2-3 on the road.
Oregon State is 11-2 on the year, and they're trending up. They were 7th last week, and now they're 5th in the country.
I don't think these games are going to be pretty.
Neither do I. I mean, I feel like you're going to get one game where ASU's bats show up because they have a tendency to do that. I think like once a series.
But the bullpen will shit itself at the end of the game.
Yeah, and then they're going to end up losing like 11-13 or something like that. Like they'll score double-digit runs and still lose, or they'll have one good performance. Like they just need. I think there's always a potential of there being one game where the stars align and the bullpen, the pitching performs well, and the bats show up. But yikes, I would not be surprised at all if they get swept in the series.
Oh God. And then after that, they've got a game against Grand Canyon on Tuesday. Then they continue Pac-12 play with Washington back at home. Then UNLV, then Cal, and then they've got a game against Arizona. That's going to be an ass kicking, I think. Stanford. I just don't see. I said at the start of the year that I thought that this team had the bats to compete in the Pac-12, and I still think they have the bats to compete in the Pac-12.
They just don't have the pitching.
They don't have near the pitching that they need to be competing with GCU, in my personal opinion. Like, they've got 1 or 2 guys that I'm confident in to
Lopes down.
To have like a solid 5-6 innings, but then after that, then it's like you're crossing your fingers that something magical happens at the end.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just when you look at the Pac-12 specifically, you got 3 ranked teams. Yeah, that Arizona game probably going to be an ass kicking. Stanford, they're the 12th team in the country, probably going to be an ass kicking. Like, or those series, not games, but yeah, it's
not pretty.
Not pretty. And I feel like there's a certain athletic director that would really like at least the baseball team to figure their shit out.
A certain athletic director who gets paid way too much fucking money to have average teams across the board. I think I said this a couple days ago. Like, what the fuck? Why does Ray make so much money and all the revenue sports are worse than the in-state rival?
I don't know how to answer that question. Hold on.
Okay, football's trending.
I was going to say.
ASU football is trending down.
Yeah, they're trending in the wrong directions, but ASU football is still significantly better right now than U of A football.
I think U of A probably wins, 3-4 games next year?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they technically could lose every game next year, but I don't think that's going to happen. They're better than they were last year.
Yeah.
So they're trending in the right direction. Yeah, probably 3-4 games. They'll win more than one. I think they still use Arizona, but talk to me in 2 years to 3 years. I think the Territorial Cup might be heading back down the I-10. Shout out to PHNX Coyotes.
Don't say that. Listen here, Ray. If you're listening,
please don't let it happen.
I think Ray's an avid listener. Of the
obviously.
PHNX Sun Devil show.
We need to get him on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna want to. I don't know how many times we've called for his job, but yeah, if you want to come defend yourself to us, because I'm sure you care about our opinions so much. But come on, man, like, help us out here. Like, we complain about the ASU fandom, but like, I get it. Why are ASU fans going to support average programs or below average programs?
Yeah, right now it's ASU fans have a lot of reason to kind of be checked out. That's for sure.
Baseball below 500. Both basketball teams not making the tournament. Football like drastically underselling and underachieving what they could have done last year.
Yeah, I mean, to the ASU fans that are listening,
we feel your pain.
It's still college sports, and like you got to support no matter what. That's what makes you real fans. Like I've mentioned many a time, I'm from Buffalo, New York. All I knew was pain for a long time, and I still supported my teams. And that's what makes fans great, is you supporting your teams even when they suck. So you still gotta throw them forks up, back ASU.
Back ASU, we can't
shit talk U of A whenever you get the opportunity.
100%.
But yes, and our intern, who is amazing, Emma, is behind the screen flipping off our producer, who is from U of A, and I love you for it.
Wow. Wow. Great job.
No.
Great job. You can't do that on this show.
No, Emma. Wow. Emma said, nice stain.
The funny thing is I do have a stain on the shirt from eating my lunch.
And it's somehow a better shirt because of it.
Rude.
Forks up.
Oh, that was so good.
You can take yourself off.
Yeah,
the
you're
screen
hurt.
now.
Don't act like you're not hurt.
So while we're on the topic of support, can you see where I'm going with this, Shawn? Have you been on enough shows with me to understand?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so we're talking about support. You know who you should guys support if you don't support ASU sports? PHNX, because we've got great content not only here on the Sun Devil Show, but we do have Mike Luke, we have Saul Bookman out in San Diego covering the
future loss to a 16 seed.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to get all the great coverage there, I know the Yotes have magically turned into the best team in hockey all of a sudden for some reason. Baseball's back.
Can't even lose right.
The Suns are killing it. Anyone know when the spring game is? Yes, it is actually. Shawn, you want to continue this ad read while I look up the spring game?
We have some of the best coverage. Actually, for ASU fans, Craig Morgan of PHNX Coyotes recently dropped one of his hockey notebooks, and he talked a little bit about ASU hockey legend Johnny Walker, Coach Powers. So definitely check that out. Being a Sun Devil fan and a Coyote fan, that scene had me highly conflicted. Well, if you want to bring it together, check out Craig's notebook on gophnx.com. Grab yourself a subscription. If you get a subscription, you either get a free t-shirt or your first month for 50 cents, right?
Yep, just for signing up,
Just for signing up.
Do you know the deal of the century going on?
The deal of the millennia, probably the deal of humankind, because I'm pretty sure it predates human existence, is 50% off or 20% off Sun shirts.
And now all orders get a Phoenix sticker.
A Phoenix sticker.
That's our mascot, right?
Yes, he's in the other room right now. But he is.
Oh, is that who the mascot is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I say PHNX, but PHNX makes more sense, I guess. But yeah, you get a free PHNX sticker. So if you want to rep.
And the Sun shirts are dope as shit.
Yeah.
Just got the CP3 one, the point guard one. I was out with my friends wearing PHNX shirt, and they literally are going to be ordering these shirts because of how much they like them.
Yeah, I mean, like these are,
and you look
PHNX aside, you do look jacked. PHNX aside, like they are some of the coolest like Arizona sports shirts that I have ever seen. I was talking trash about it, but Leah's back the A shirt is incredibly clean. Well, it's not actually clean. I guess it's not clean in the traditional sense, but it is a dope design. It looks really good. So if you are, for some reason, if you're watching like LA Shadow, if you're still here and you're a Wildcat, go get yourself a Back the A shirt. But just go to gophnx.com, grab yourself a subscription. It's the best content. It's the best Arizona sports coverage you can find.
Deshaun Watson has made up his mind.
Oh.
He is going to waive his no-trade clause. And in a change of events, he's going to be Cleveland Brown.
Disgusting!
He's going to be
disgusting. I hate Cleveland.
A Cleveland Brown. Rich, to answer your question, I can't find the schedule, but I believe it is the first week or second week of the second or third week of April.
I'm gonna vomit.
You good?
I hate Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, who is a bad person, need to put that out there. He is a bad person on a disgusting team. I want nothing to do with that.
Why would you go to Cleveland? So is Baker now going to Houston?
No, I'm not good. Oh my, ew, disgusting.
Why the Browns?
They're still going to be so mid. Like Baker, a significant improvement at quarterback if we're talking strictly
I am here
talent.
to watch Deshaun and Amari Cooper. That's going to be fun.
In orange? Ew.
Are you bitching only because their colors suck?
No, not just. Listen. If there's somebody that's going to support the color orange, it's yours truly. But that team, I want nothing to do. Full factory of
They've
sadness.
always been a full factory of sadness.
They're a poor man's Buffalo. Their lake lit on fire at one point. It's a disgusting city. Because it's so goddamn dirty.
This if you want to know why he's going to Cleveland, Deshaun Watson is getting a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract.
Oh my God.
$80 million more than the previous record for fully guaranteed money of $150 million.
You could get me to live just about anywhere, including Tucson, for that kind of money.
I would live in Tucson for a lot less than $230 million.
Okay, so
$230 million. If you're in the chat, what would you do for $230 million? Be very specific. Okay.
Be very specific. Wow.
Don't just say anything.
There's not a lot that I wouldn't do for that much money.
$230 million.
That's generational wealth.
I feel like that's what Saul makes.
230 mil fully guaranteed? Yikes.
No, not at all. This is where we're at on the show. Should we get into...
I'm willing to be traded to Cleveland now.
We don't have a PHNX of Cleveland yet.
I'll go found one just to get away from you wearing sunglasses inside. Country's house with birds for two. Can you even read the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not blind. It's the sunglasses. Like, I would cheer for U of A and the Dodgers for $230 million. Huh. I can't believe he decided to do that. Like, why not go back home to Atlanta, trying to rebuild your image?
Yeah, that's so shot.
What an idiot.
That's so shot.
Wow, that's crazy. I do want to get into our favorite topic.
I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. Keep going.
Friday. You want me to rub your tummy? You okay?
Yeah, actually, can you come over and rub my tummy?
No. I don't.
Welcome to a Friday Funday.
No.
So that was great. Let's get into hot or not, shall we?
Before we do, I just want to show what Emma was working on behind the scenes during this whole time. So let's start with this one. This is Totri as the Bachelor getting rejected.
Getting rejected or
rejected again? More specifically.
God.
Is that Clayton?
I don't know. And then
why am I wearing a striped t-shirt? That's a stupid shirt.
There's Shawn and Shane on the Amazing Race.
Why am I hopping so much?
You're stoked.
I am stoked.
Oh my God.
So
we would body the Amazing Race. Like, I don't think anyone would even come close.
That would be a lot of fun to watch.
All right, well, let's get into hot or not. And oh my god.
Can't believe.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Right, you said anything, Totri.
Okay. Wow, that's never seen that before. I'll take it. It's right. The glasses.
It's the glasses.
It's 100% the glasses.
All right, so the first one, because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, hot or not, St. Patrick's Day.
Hot.
I feel like it's
hot, but drinking green beer is not hot.
I mean, I'm generally like anti these like holidays that don't actually mean anything. So like, I'm not a big like New Year's guy. I'm not a big I'm not a big New Year's guy. I'm not a big St. Patrick's Day guy. Not a big like PD. We do have Leah in a tunnel actually. But
so
listen, I'm gonna say hot, but only because. And listen, I'm not doing this to be annoying, but it just keeps on being relevant. Buffalo has one of the it literally has the
talk about St. Patrick's Day. He's like Buffalo.
It has the largest St. Patrick's Day celebration in the country. Like it is a huge Irish city, and so it's always been a big part of my life. Plus, my grandma's birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so I'll say hot for that reason.
I feel like that's a weird reason to say that St. Patrick's Day is hot.
My grandma's birthday. I love St. Patrick's Day for that reason.
So wait. Yeah, I also agree it's hot. But do you think you mentioned holidays that don't like mean anything to you? So you do not like Cinco de Mayo either?
No, that I can get into a whole other reason of that. It means something if you're actually from a Mexican country or a Hispanic country. Well, no, Mexico, but it doesn't mean anything. Like for Americans, it's just an excuse to drink. Those holidays are stupid.
It's always over under 2.5.
Yeah, I would say that's fair, but it's like it's just one of those holidays that are from a different country, and then Americans took it, bastardized it, and just use it as an excuse.
Bastardized it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I don't like those holidays. They've lost their actual meaning.
That's fair. While we're on the topic of alcohol, and PD's in the chat, PD, I have a bone to pick with you. On the Phoenix Sports Pod, you guys had come to the conclusion that either Johnny or I is the lightweight of PHNX. However, I would like to say the last time that we all got together,
are you about to expose me?
Yeah, 100% expose you.
I'm catching strays over here, but all right.
Yeah, you drank a lot and lost your stomach in the parking lot of a Waffle House.
Yes, I did.
And Shane was barking on a table on all fours.
Those are both true statements.
That'll be the last time that I am called the lightweight. I would 100% think Johnny is more of a lightweight than I am.
I've never seen Johnny drink. I can confirm that you're not a lightweight. You may be a Michelob Ultra, but you're not a lightweight. You can't throw your hands up after you just exposed me for no reason. Yeah.
I just rubbed your tummy, man.
That's fair.
Also, I did that, and we've got the chat went nuts right there.
Yeah, apparently. Go PHNX.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I can confirm that you're not a lightweight.
Okay, I appreciate that. I need to get that clipped and put it on social media to redeem my image.
Next one. Popular spring break destinations such as like Fort Lauderdale and Cabo and things like that.
Like just the locations in general?
Like, but for spring break destinations, like as a spring break destination.
Ice cold. Ice cold. I hate being around a lot of people like that. Plus I'm not like a huge beach guy, but like I just don't. They're just a bunch of drunk teenagers. I don't need it. I don't need it. I would rather go somewhere cool.
I'm pretty torn on this one. Because like going to Mexico sounds great. Like going to Cancun, going to Cabo, Amsterdam sounds dope.
Yeah, but that sounds cool. But that's not like a spring break destination. That was supposed to be.
You can definitely go to Amsterdam for spring break.
But Leah's talking about like the traditional like spring break destinations that people go to, not going somewhere on spring break. Like, because when the pandemic started, I literally, the day that the travel ban was announced, I was supposed to get on a flight to go to London and then Amsterdam for spring break.
I was in Rocky Point
Rocky Point, I feel like is one of those traditional spring break.
Rocky Point, Miami.
Like, I want nothing to do with that. But traveling to Europe on spring break, like that would be dope.
Yeah, so spring break, not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like those traditional ones where it's just a bunch of.
It's hot.
I'm
going for it. You can have a lot of fun in those places. Like, I don't care if you do it year after year after year. It's a lot of fun. You go with your friends. You have a good time.
I'm just not a big beach person. I don't want to be hot and sandy and drunk. Like, it just doesn't sound fun.
Hot, sandy, and drunk. Okay.
It just doesn't sound fun to me.
Sounds like your life story.
Hot, sandy, and drunk?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been hot. Haven't been sandy or drunk very often. Well, I guess I've been drunk a few times, but I have always
2
been
out of
hot.
3. It sounds
That's
sounds
consistent.
more like it's sticking. Okay, the third and final.
Okay, so I was gonna try and stick with themes because we were doing relevant themes, but I was just thinking about this because I'm watching the Kanye West documentary right now.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
So hot? No, not Kanye. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Hot or not documentaries?
Oh, so
super hot.
So hot.
Super fucking hot.
So
Are you kidding
hot.
me? I feel like I don't need like I could take back my degree. Both my degrees. And if you just sat me in front of a TV for a solid year and gave me a shit ton of documentaries, I would be so much smarter.
Documentaries might be my favorite form of TV, like docuseries. Because listen, I'm not.
Ooh,
like
that's a hot take.
I'm not a huge like. I don't like TV shows that make me sad, which is why I'm conflicted on Euphoria. Like there's like weird shit that happens, and I'm just like.
We're talking about documentaries, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because I was legitimately having this conversation the other day. Like there's shows that are like bad things happen to them. I'm like, why do I want to watch that? Life is weird enough, bad enough. Where I don't want to go out.
Those shows make you feel better about yourself.
They don't really. They just make me feel worse about humankind. But docuseries, like that's why I like comedies. That's why I'm a huge like Office, Parks and Rec guy, which is basic, I know. But
I think
it is
The
what it
Office
is.
is overrated.
Shut your mouth. Friends is overrated.
No, Friends is significantly better.
Oh my God, this is a
significantly
conversation. We'll talk about
better,
this
bro.
next week. We'll talk about this next week because I will go in a whole other hour about this.
You'll lose the argument.
I probably will because everyone loves Friends because it's the most basic TV show out there. But we're not going there because I will go off for another hour. But docuseries, listen, Drive to Survive. I have never been a motorsports guy. I hate NASCAR. Was never into any kind of racing. It got me super into F1 because it's a dope series. There's a series called Explained, which just like gives random topics and just goes in depth on them for like an hour. Super. Charles
no,
Pike,
man.
Woodall Pike, my guy.
I will give you Seinfeld.
Thank you.
Seinfeld is definitely overrated.
Oh, Seinfeld is better than Friends. Better than Friends.
It's not. Those are just horrible
Seinfeld
takes.
is a great show. Curb Your Enthusiasm, great show. Arrested Development. Arrested Development is one of the most underrated comedy shows ever, I think.
How do you have time to watch all of these?
I haven't watched them in a long time. It was a lot of college stuff, especially over the summer. I didn't have friends.
Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I think documentaries, only because of a bad experience, are not hot.
Well, now
I
you
watched
need to
a
explain.
documentary about like being vegan and vegetarian. I love eating meat. For like when was this? In college?
Okay.
This was like I was a senior in college. I watched that shit. Was totally not like it makes you disgusted. So I'm like, I'm gonna try and be vegan.
Well, that's
Let's
your
try
own
it.
damn fault.
I was vegan for 48 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say
got
that.
food poisoning from undercooked beans and lost my stomach so bad for a solid like 3 days.
Hey, yo.
Said fuck being vegan, and that's why documentaries are not hot.
Listen, but I have no interest in like propaganda, fucking PETA trying to get me to turn vegan, propaganda machine. I'm going to say propaganda one more time. Documentary. I just want like educational, not something that's trying to sway my opinion on something.
Beans 1, Totri 0. That's my
Clearly.
life story, honestly.
I'm a huge beans guy, not undercooked beans, I guess, but
Trust
wait,
me.
hold on. Can't you eat beans raw?
Not the ones I ate.
I have a lot of questions. Documentaries are hot.
Okay.
I'm a nerd. Like I like being educated. Like I like learning things. So I'm a big fan of documentaries.
Okay. Well, shall we say goodbye?
I guess so. This has been just all over the goddamn
Yeah,
place.
I'm sure. Honestly, if you're listening, I can guarantee you learned something.
Not all
I
of our
can
shows are like this.
guarantee that you learned something. Well, this is what happens when Shane's not here to steer the ship.
Yeah.
We just kind of go off on random tangents. But if you had fun, we appreciate you guys listening. You can follow the show at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. Shawn, bring us home.
You can follow me at Shawn_deposit. I was thinking about changing my Twitter app, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that off air.
Wow.
Shawn_deposit.
Educated as always.
Educated as always.
There we go.
I like that one. Educated as always.
And we do have we'll have an audio show tomorrow after ASU's spring practice to wrap up their first week. So be sure to check us out tomorrow. But for now, peace.